Be nice if we could find an associate that could actually show up once in a while.
The associate is our Achilles here. There's no doubt.
You're tuned in to BTS, Between the Sermons at Northwood Christian Church, where we gather for conversations with each other, answer your questions, and open the curtains to who we are beyond Sunday mornings. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to BTS.
Hey, church, welcome to the 9th edition of BTS. We wanted to spend a little time with you, again, letting you know a little bit more about what's going on in our lives. We were really hoping to have Aaron here, but he's not well, so it's the three amigos. We're going to have some fun. We're moving up towards the holiday season, so we thought we'd have a little fun with that. A couple of crazy questions that I had nothing to do with, and we're just going to have some fun, and hopefully you will as well. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for watching. So the holiday season is coming up. Thanksgiving not far, Christmas a little bit farther out, but as I said recently in a sermon in our house, we're listening to Christmas music. It was on, I got home yesterday, and it was on the Christmas station, nothing but Christmas music. So
that's brutal to me. I don't know if I could.
You're not that in this early?
No, I'm not. I don't think my family really is either, but I don't know that I could.
Do you like Christmas?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so as a kid especially, I loved it. And then now kind of again, because I have kids,
yes,
I have a reason to love it again. But man, there were some years in my young adult and early married life where just felt like, man, a lot of pressure to buy a lot of stuff, and we're so busy, and
yes,
so there's some of that comes with it too. But the Christmas music, for some reason, I do like Christmas, but the Christmas music can I don't know what it is. It gets me if it's too early.
You would hate our house. John, how are you? How's your thoughts about Christmas?
I'm a fan of Christmas.
You love Christmas
in general. Yeah,
yes.
I love Christmas.
That's
I love
good. Not like Grinch over here.
No, definitely not. And I do love some Christmas music, but I'm going to agree with Adam that it can't start too soon.
Yes.
So for me, I don't want to listen to Christmas music before December.
Okay. So like just after summer is a little early?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I like to, I like
to get through Thanksgiving.
I want to enjoy the fall.
Yeah. That's my favorite time of year as well. So I want the fall to happen completely first.
Yeah, we've got Halloween playlists going on. Nice. It's still that time right now.
There's Halloween playlists.
Oh, there are many. Yeah. There are many.
Okay. Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash, okay. Yeah, that's a great one. Okay. And definitely like the earliest, like right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
After I've recovered from food coma, then I'm fine. Then start the Christmas music and I can handle it. But then as soon as Christmas is over, it's got to be done. Like I'm done with it.
Yes.
And I want to take the lights down.
Okay.
And put all that stuff away.
Yes.
There's a season for all things. I believe that's biblical, and December is the season for Christmas music.
Way to bring in scripture.
Yeah.
So you want to know, I love Christmas in a lot of ways, but there is a big complaint to have about Christmas, and it's when you're a pastor and you've been at a church now 26 years. Christmas comes, there are 4 to 5 sermons you have to preach every year on basically the same topic, and you're trying to do it a little bit different every year, and it drives me crazy.
That's hard.
Yeah. It's like, okay, how can I talk about Christmas in a different way?
Yeah, totally.
And that's not always that fun. Okay, so tell me, as we move up to Thanksgiving and Christmas, what is a routine, a tradition, a holiday that you guys have? On either one, Thanksgiving or moving towards Christmas.
Okay. Sure thing. I can go. Thanksgiving, I don't really have very specific traditions. I do think we, we'll throw out the few fall decorations that we have, so it feels a little bit like harvest time, even though I've literally never harvested anything in my life.
Got to get those tiny pumpkins out, though, right?
Yes, right. Yeah, and right now my garage is full of tiny pumpkins. I don't even know where they came from.
Yes.
I think they're for the preschool, maybe. Pumpkins for sure. Although this year has been crazy. Like we normally take the kids to the pumpkin patch, and we just haven't done it. With Val, my wife, back at work after being off of work for 10 years, taking care of kids.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we had and then I recently had a surgery, and so life's been busy. And so I feel kind of bad we've neglected that tradition of taking the kids to the pumpkin patch and letting them, you know, pick out their pumpkins. And they love to go to Johnson Farms. They did not pay me to say that. And do that wild hayride. I don't know if you ever, and you know, and you get to throw pumpkins at things, like the little tiny ones. Yeah. And then they've got, you know, they've got one area with the slingshots and like the giant, like water balloon launchers, and you can launch little mini pumpkins at different targets. Ton of fun.
That seems awesome. No.
Ton of fun.
What kind of father are you?
Yeah, I'm a bad father. That's
Unfortunately, since COVID, they've jacked their prices up. It used to be like a couple bucks, and now it's steep. It's going up like movie tickets. And then for Christmas, you know, since I married into Val's family 15 years ago, Christmas has taken on a whole new feel, and it's bigger. And no offense, family, but better. And so they've, you know, being part of their traditions has encouraged me to like go, I wouldn't say all out, but like way more than I grew up doing, with decorations throughout the house. And like, we always make sure that we've got a tree, and we've got, you know, these collections of ornaments, and all the kids have their own ornaments, and they get new ones every year. So it's like, I've got to get a bigger and bigger tree every year to hold all these ornaments. Yeah, no. But it's a fun tradition, and they get to put up their own ornaments. And man, God forbid that one of the siblings put up somebody else's ornament.
Oh, it's a big deal.
Yes, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
That makes sense.
That can cause a fight.
Yep.
But Christmas lights and all that stuff, and it's fun. I like doing it. I'm not sure Val would believe me when I just said that right now, because I probably don't always act like I like doing it. But it's fun. It gets us in the
I like it when it's done.
You like when it's done for you?
Yeah.
No, when it's just done.
Just done.
I'll do
I get it.
But
I like it when it's done for me. That's fun.
Any traditions or routines for you guys?
So since we have come back to the Northwest, and we're near Jesse's family, we for Thanksgiving usually go to her aunt's house. Okay. I think this year maybe it's her aunt still hosting, but somebody in the family generally has a big get together, and so we'll all head out there and do the big meal together. One thing that has started to creep into just our personal Thanksgiving at home is my youngest son, Coop, loves seafood. And so he really likes if we'll throw in like some crab and some stuff like that at Thanksgiving, and we're cool with that. So that's kind of a little fun tradition. We've kind of started to add seafood to our Thanksgivings, and then I'm a Cowboys fan, so they play every Thanksgiving. So I'm probably watching that game on Thanksgiving Day too. And that's kind of our Thanksgiving, pretty standard, but we enjoy that. And then for Christmas, very similar. We put a tree up and we decorate the house and do stuff like that. And I'm probably a Grinch and grumpy through most of it, but I do like it when it's done and the house is all Christmassy, and that's great. But we're similar, I think, to what you guys have. We just kind of spend it with each other and get the house looking fun. Usually Christmas morning is just the four of us, our family at home. Nice, that's something we take for ourselves. So that's nice too.
So holidays in our family are a big deal, and family are a real key part of that. And now that the family's getting bigger, boys are getting married and have significant others, and we've got more kids, and it's all good and it's all exciting. But trying to find a time to get everybody together when there's 2 or 3 parents that they are responsible to, that gets crazy. So we started a while ago doing a Thanksgiving brunch, and we just invite everyone over, and we don't do a turkey, we do a brunch. We do eggs and bacon and sausage, and Michelle makes this really good cinnamon roll goodie. And one of the fun things about this, and you guys knowing Connor will appreciate this, is that at some point he said, can't we have more than 2 pieces of bacon, right? Because, you're like...
That's a lot of bacon. That's a lot of bacon for a lot of people.
We now have, this is, kid you not, unlimited bacon.
Nice.
If you come to our brunch, it's unlimited bacon. And
so we can just, Adam and I can just show up.
Yeah,
well, I need to know if you're coming, but it's unlimited.
It sounds like you'll have enough bacon.
And so we buy packs and packs of bacon.
That is great.
I'm spending hours cooking bacon, but it's unlimited.
Hey,
and
that's really how it ought to be on Thanksgiving.
So that's we start off just eating way more than we should, and then there's still another big meal ahead of us. And everyone kind of divides then where they can go, and we join Michelle's family typically up in Dallas for an evening meal, and then Christmas, of course, like I said, it's a big deal in our house. Decorations. I'll actually sometimes start putting up decorations, not turning them on. I know this is terrible, before Thanksgiving, only because if there's a warm, dry day, I'm like, okay, the decorations have got to go up because I hate being out in the pouring rain. So we won't turn them on until after Thanksgiving, but we might sometimes put up lights and stuff like that, which I usually get Connor to come over and help me with because I don't like to go up high on a ladder. I don't.
Oh, yeah, you have a 2-story house, so.
I do.
Yeah, it's pretty easy for me to put up lights. It's a little sketchy on your roof.
And I don't know when it happened. I used to climb a ladder all the time and not. I now climb a ladder, and if I get, above 6 feet, my legs start shaking. It's the weirdest. I'm on a ladder, and it's going. I don't know why. Then, like I said, Christmas in Michelle's family is huge. Everyone gets everyone a gift. Oh. And I tried. I wish you could have seen this. I tried a couple of years ago to the family to say, "Hey, I got an idea," because there's like 20 of us, right? So instead of every person buying every person a gift, how about if we draw names? And then we could get one really nice gift for one person. And they looked at me like, what is wrong with you? Like I had no idea what I was talking about. So we still buy, 20-some gifts for every person. And but I can't complain because Michelle does 99% of all the Christmas shopping.
There you go.
The 1% is me getting her something, and she has to give me a list. I am the worst. Can you give me a list of 5 things that you might like for
Man,
Christmas?
I'm that way too. It's hard for me.
Oh,
I even like to buy gifts and do things, but when it's like a pressured time where there's a gift coming, and I feel like I don't know what to get her. What does she want? Why is it that hard? I'm with her all the time, but it's so hard.
Because we don't pay attention.
Yeah,
probably.
that's true. That's true.
Michelle is really good at gift giving, and
So
I
is
am
Jesse.
the worst.
Yeah.
So, okay. So since Thanksgiving, though, is coming up first, we've gotten into Christmas, but Thanksgiving, I thought it'd be neat just to hear something you're really grateful for these days. Because I really do like that season of Thanksgiving, and I know it's a day, but I really like spending time being thankful and starting to pay more attention to what I'm thankful for. What's something going on for you or something you're aware of today that you're just really thankful for?
Well, I'll tell you something that we are. I may have even shared this with both of you at different times because this comes up for Jesse and I all the time. We've been back here now for over 3 years. We grew up here, both of us did, and moved away to the Midwest. And for over 3 years now, almost 3.5, we've been back here. And we are at least weekly finding ourselves saying to one another, man, I'm just so happy to be back in this area. It's so beautiful in the Northwest. We love our church. We really are truly grateful to be where we are. We feel like God has put us here specifically, and we're sensing that and reaping the benefits of it in many ways. But I am truly just grateful for Springfield, Oregon, and that I get to be a part of this community and this church and this beautiful landscape, and love it here. Love it here.
Yeah, good.
That's awesome. I would definitely echo that.
Yeah.
I think, though, right now, I am most thankful for my wife, Valerie. And I should probably tell her this directly before she watches BTS. But that's just really hit me recently. And it's, it's not like I'm ever like not grateful for her, my relationship with her, but sometimes in marriages there's seasons when and we went through a season recently where we were just kind of like passing each other, taking care of managing kids and kids' activities and her being back to work and doing all kinds of things. And we finally had to stop and be like, hey, we need to like pay way more attention to each other. So we've both been really intentional about that. But what's really just been on the forefront of my mind is just how awesome she is. And it came just a week ago when I had surgery last Wednesday, and she took a couple days off to take care of me, and I was in so much pain from the surgery that I couldn't get up or sit down without her taking the majority of my weight. And in the mornings, like I couldn't get up and get out of bed for a few days to help get the kids ready to school, because like walking was just not fun. Standing up straight was painful. Wow. But she still made sure that I had whatever I needed, and helped get the kids ready and herself get ready to school. And so she's just awesome, and it was just a really important reminder to me that those vows that we made to each other 15 years ago, like we're still committed to. Nice. And she's still, committed to, and we're still in it together, no matter what. Good. And so I think it was good. I think, our compassion for each other has grown, which is something that I think just needs to happen. Because if you're not careful, that compassion for each other, you can let it slip. So that's just been good. I'm just really grateful for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Maybe somewhat similar, just the thing I'm thinking I'm grateful for, and increasingly all the time, is just the people in my life. Just as I get older and I'm in a season where I'm doing so many memorial services, it's just this constant reminder of what really matters, and the people in my life really matter. And I love that our kids are healthy and doing well, and they're marrying and they're having babies, and that's fun. And I just have such a great relationship with our immediate family, and I'm so grateful for that. And then I got some great friends that are around me that love me and care about me and support me and help me. And then our church. I love our church, and I know this is kind of like, but I do. Our church just constantly. Of course, last week preached a message about living between miracles and shared a part of my life. And there was just so much love that I felt from the church following that message. And it was just powerful to me. And I think over and over, I am so blessed to have so many incredible people around me. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we're in this season, especially our church, of just giving. We finished the capital campaign. Now we're gearing up towards the harvest offering, and I think our church will show up big. And then following that, there's going to be right now we're doing shoe boxes, and there'll be angel tree. There'll be food baskets at Thanksgiving and at Christmas that we will do. The church will do a staff love offering. I mean, it's unbelievable how much the church is going to be giving, and they do so graciously. So we thought, what's an example of generosity that you've witnessed? Maybe beyond any of that, or maybe that's a part of that. But what's an example of generosity that you've seen or experienced in your life?
Well, I have definitely had personal experiences with generosity in my life at different times, and I always just think that is God blessing us, in that way. That whenever I fully agree with the principle that you often share. When you need something, you ought to give it away. And so if you feel like nothing is coming your way, you should probably be more generous.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's God reaffirming that when we receive generosity. But I will say this, that Jesse and I, the very first Sunday we came to Northwood, it was we had flown out here from Oklahoma City at the time, and I was interviewing for the job here, and it was our first time being at the church with the congregation. And you guys were talking about wells that the church had purchased, and it started off with 3 people. You being one of them, I believe.
John and Richard. We all
all the 3 May birthdays, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys gave up your birthday for money to go towards people who needed water for these wells. And that turned in 3 guys just deciding they wanted to pitch in a little. That turned into the congregation catching wind of this and jumping on board. And am I right that it was over $40,000 that was raised for that?
Yeah.
When Jesse and I heard that our first Sunday here, we just thought, that is a generous church. They heard of an opportunity to give. It wasn't even something that was specifically placed on their heart necessarily, but they were presented with an opportunity to give, and they were like, we want in. And we just thought, man, that's a generous church.
Yeah.
And we experienced that. Even in just our move out here, we had troubles in the drive out here with our car breaking down on us and trying to get out here at a certain time. And Roger Rutan just flew out from to Utah. He met us in Utah. That was where we were broke down in Salt Lake, and helped us get the rest of the way. The church is a generous place, but that was a specific instance for us of just how generous Northwood really is.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I thought a lot about this, and there's a lot of examples. A lot of examples within the church and the ways that our family specifically has been blessed. But what stands out to me the most doesn't even have to do with money. So about 6 years ago now, our family was in a situation where we were asked to take in our nephews.
Oh yeah.
And so we did, and we, just made the decision that we were going to foster our nephews for a while, and it was the right decision.
Yes,
it was a difficult decision, and a lot of people within the church rallied around us in making that decision, and so we felt like we weren't alone in it.
Yeah,
like we could manage it. There were a lot of people to lean on that provided all kinds of things, really just tangible blessings during that time. But even beyond that, so one of my nephews has severe, special needs and needs a lot of close care. And we face the hard reality that with 3 of our own kids and trying to care for my 2 nephews, like we ran out of gas trying to care for my nephew. He needed more than we could give, and that was really hard to deal with and to own. But there was this family in Eugene who their hearts are so big and so loving and generous. They have fostered many developmentally delayed and special needs kids. Ugh. Like so many.
Yeah.
A huge, and they already had a house full with some of their own kids, kids who weren't their kids but were just like friends of their kids that they kind of adopted.
Yes.
And they took in my nephew. And they, without even a question, and helped us to feel good about it.
That's a great gift.
Yeah, that was just that was a huge gift that they gave to me and to my sister, and I'll never forget. That.
Sure,
I'll never forget those 2, and their willingness to step up. And I think, they could have easily just maybe given us a check to meet some financial needs, but that's not what we needed. So sometimes generosity just looks differently. And I'm just so grateful for that.
Yeah.
And on the other side, man, my nephews are doing
That's what I
well,
wanted
and family
to
is
say,
family is reunited. They're reunited with my sister, and
So both boys are back.
both boys are back with her, and
Sister.
she's married, and and their family is growing, and God is good. There's just a lot of love and generosity surrounding that story.
Wow, what a great story! Yeah. And then to see it come full circle, and for the boys to be back home with their mom, and they're healthy and well. That's so good. I am. Again, I'm just around so many generous people. A lot of my closest friends are some of the most generous people. And I love it because I get to learn. Truth is, I benefit from it, but I mean, I learn. I've shared before, generosity has been a hard thing for me. It doesn't come natural. I have a tendency to want to hold on too tight. And I love being around these guys because they show me what generosity is and how to live it out. And whenever I can be more like that, I am so encouraged. And so I see examples of generosity all the time, just in unbelievable ways, in some amazing ways. But I just wanted to go back to the example I shared in a sermon with Natalie, who's in 6th grade, and who, when she heard months before we were doing the capital campaign, brought this jar, and it was full of change. And, probably it meant returning some bottles and some change here and there, and it was filled with change. It meant the world to me. And so I have it sitting on top of the case where the model of the new building is, because it's the inspiration for me of what does it take for us to build the new church. It takes 1,000 Natalies, right? Yep. That says, hey, I may not have a lot, but what I have, I'm going to give. And I was really moved by that. And it's been neat to be able to affirm her in that way. And so that just made my day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
When that happened. Okay. Here's kind of a crazy one that you guys jumped on big time. I think Jared came up with this question. If you were forming a basketball team, the starting 5, and they were all from the Bible. Okay, Bible characters on your basketball team.
I got to get my list out.
Okay, pull out your list. Yeah. I did write a couple of notes myself. Here's the question. Can Jesus be on the team or not?
No.
We had this discussion.
Okay.
I don't know. I think if you've got some divinity.
Yeah, you got to go human.
Yeah, I think we're going.
Okay.
I mean,
well, they all got.
I mean, but Jesus does qualify as 100% human, so
yes.
We're getting into a big.
But we can leave
here.
Jesus out because he would be on every one of our teams.
He would.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's. That's the obvious easy one. Let's leave that one out.
Yeah.
Let's leave that one out.
Okay.
All right.
Who wants to go? You want to go? You got your list? You want to go?
Whatever.
So are we going to say our list?
I don't need any notes.
Are we going to say our list and then we'll just form our 5 out of our list?
Yeah.
That work?
Yeah. Let's talk about the 5.
Okay.
Oh, I see. All right.
And then we'll decide.
Okay.
All right. So here's. I mean, I've got like 8 or 9, but
good.
For sure, I'm going with Elijah.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but Elijah was probably the fastest guy in the Bible.
Yeah.
Because God enabled Elijah to outrun Ahab's chariot.
Yes. Good. I did not come up with
the
that.
The Lord girded his loins, the Bible says.
Wow.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's fast.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
I need that.
I don't even know
when
what
I
that
play
means,
basketball with you.
He's going to help us on the fast break. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm putting Goliath at center.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of a gimme.
That's the obvious.
That's the obvious answer.
I figured everybody would
obvious
go that
answer
way.
there.
Yeah.
And then I did put one woman on our team, my starting 5, because she's probably one of my favorite Bible characters.
Yes.
Because I knew I needed to have somebody who's just like ruthless.
Yes.
And is willing to play a little bit dirty.
Ooh.
Down low.
Yeah.
And so I'm going with JL.
Okay.
Her JL, who killed one of the kings, I think maybe of the Ammonites, I could be totally wrong on that, by putting a tent spike through his head.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite Bible stories, which I don't think I learned that in Sunday school, though. I think I learned that one in
We're going to
college.
talk about this today in Sunday school.
That's a good one.
And let's see. And then I'm going to go with Jacob. As he was able to wrestle with an angel, with God.
Yeah.
And
Good.
He got pretty messed up, though.
He had a limp.
yeah, but to take it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And and then it was a toss-up between Daniel and Samson, but I need to round out my team. I'm going with Daniel because I think he can just stay cool and calm under pressure.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wow. You've got some of that I had on my mind. Okay.
I was thinking that we were coming up with our own starting fives and like they were gonna compete against each other even. So I like that.
I could like that too.
I like that we can combine. This is good. But I had Goliath at center too. That seemed like the gimme. And then I went with Saul for my power forward. I want like your reasoning for JL. I kind of wanted somebody who was mean and an enforcer. I figure I can trust Saul to get dirty when it's necessary, and he was tall as well. So
The head above.
Yeah. So he fits at power forward, and then at the wing, I'm gonna go with.
Even looking at notes, by the way.
I know.
No,
He's put more time into this than any part of it.
I really did. I spent some time on this. I texted friends and did some research, and this was big time. This was big time for me. So at wing, I've got the father in the prodigal son parable. And this is good for a couple of reasons. See, I chose him also because he ran, and so I want him to get out on the fast break for me. We're gonna have to run against some teams, and he's gonna help with that. Plus, it's kind of a loophole in getting God on my team because the father is representing God in the story.
Yeah.
See what you did there? Sneaky.
So
Like that.
Sneaky good.
That's
Sneaky good.
Yeah, I like that guy at the
Okay.
3. Then at the 2, at the shooting guard, I'm going to go David.
Yeah.
Now, I know that he and Goliath definitely have some off-court issues that they're going to have to work out.
Yes.
But I feel like David is super accurate.
Yes.
He was great with that slingshot.
Yes.
He's probably going to be great from the three-point line as well.
Yes.
So I've got him at shooting guard.
Yes.
And then at point guard, I went with Joseph of the Coat of Many Colors.
Okay.
And here's what I like about him. First of all, if you're going to be in the NBA, you've got to have a fashion sense. And his coat was like the talk of the town. His brothers loved it. They were very envious of it. But he also was able to persevere and endure through some hard times with a bunch of guys. So I feel like that's who I want to be the leader of my basketball team. He's my point guard. So
that's good.
That rounds out my starting 5.
Okay, you both have said some that I had. The Goliath, we all went there.
Well, when you play the Philistines, you're going to have some size.
Yes,
because they're traditionally a pretty big team. So,
how about Moses as your point guard, because he can split the Red Sea, so maybe he can split the defenders.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh. Okay, I like where you're going there. That's pretty
He's also got some endurance holding those tablets for a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
And he led a lot of people. I mean,
yeah, he's a good leader. Right?
Yeah. Okay. I get Moses.
So this
point
next
guard.
one's corny, but just stay with me, okay? How about John the Baptist, because he's good at dunking?
Oh,
Dun,
my
dun,
God.
dun.
Wow.
That's bad, right?
Wow.
We'll bring him off the bench. All right.
I don't even feel like a dad anymore for not thinking of that.
Yeah, that is true. We should have come up with
That's really bad. I'm sorry.
no, well done.
Okay, and the other ones you guys have got are solid. But you always need an encourager.
Yeah.
Barnabas. Oh. His name means son of encouragement. He's an encourager.
Maybe he's the coach.
That could be. He's the coach. Barnabas is the coach.
Sixth
He's an
man.
encourager.
Yeah, 6 man.
Yeah. So but otherwise, I don't have any other new ones. But Jared's coming in offset.
All right. Aaron is extremely disappointed that he's sick right now because he loved this question. And so I made sure to text him and get his starting 5 so he could still at least be a part of it. The obvious 2, Goliath at center. That seems to be unanimous there. Agrees Saul at power forward. David at shooting guard. Note killer aim, literally.
He's a sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter.
Phoebe at point guard, serving up that letter to the Romans, was a major assist to Paul. And then, forgive me on this one, Maher Shalal Hashbaz at small forward, which is one of Isaiah's 2 or 3 sons, which translates to quick to the spoil, hasten to the prey. And then he has Deborah as his coach.
Okay.
All right.
And he says, if anybody picks Samson, he makes poor choices on the court.
All right. So there was a lot of effort into all of that.
Aaron's 5 is good, mostly because he had 2 or 3 that I had on mine as well, but he also had some pretty solid reasoning.
Pulled some names out that I'm like, who? What?
That was good.
Yeah, that guy at the 3, I don't know that I'm...
Isaiah's son?
I don't think I even remember him, if I'm being honest.
I don't know if we want to go any further with this.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's a tough choice.
I think we're good
we'll
there,
just...
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's. What a crazy question, and I love that Adam, you put some real time into this.
Man, when I saw that question, I was excited. So the question had been out there for a few days for us to see, and being the lovable slacker that I am, I didn't even read them until yesterday. But like, I laid in bed last night thinking about my starting 5 and different people, and I felt like I had 4 of my 5 rounded out really well, and so then I reached out to some people today, and you've got to, as a GM, you've got to make contacts throughout the league and figure out how you're going to. So yeah, I enjoyed that question. I did.
All right, last one we're going to close with is just if and when you get any downtime, what's something you do for you? Me time. You reading something, you watching something these days, a good recommendation for folks. Where are you with me time?
So Jesse and I, often in the evenings, we just like to watch shows together. That's kind of our thing. And so we'll find different shows that we're going to binge watch, and we'll go through them. And right now, we are doing old school stuff. We're often watching current stuff, but right now we are watching Different Strokes. Does anybody remember this show from the
Wow.
late 70s, early 80s?
What are you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? Yeah.
I say that to Hannah all the time.
Yeah.
She'll say something. I say, what you talking about, Willis?
Okay.
And she goes, I'm not Willis.
That's great.
I mean, this is almost a daily thing in our house.
That's awesome. Okay. And I remembered liking it because of Arnold and that line. Like, he was just hilarious. But as we've gone back and started watching it, it's a good show. It makes us laugh still. And it's so Different Strokes. And then the other thing that we're watching that I had never seen, and lots of people are probably going to not like me anymore when I say this, but I had never seen any of the original Star Trek stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've gone back and watching from the 60s, the original Star Trek seasons, and that's actually pretty fun too. I'm enjoying seeing Shatner as a young guy, and that's good stuff. So yeah, so there's our 2 shows that were, and we did just, I was telling you guys this too, we did just start Squid Game, which we've only seen 1 episode of that, and it's pretty crazy. But the 2 that we're binging right now are Different Strokes and Star Trek.
That's old school.
It is.
I would not have guessed either of those.
Yeah.
It's not generally the kind of stuff we would watch. So yeah, this is kind of a funky little patch we're in, but
that's funny.
There we go.
That's cool. Well, I've had a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
Since August.
Yeah.
With, being down with COVID and and then surgery. So a lot of I never used to watch a lot of shows. Like I used to just watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And mostly like just stand-up comedy type of stuff. Check out Dry Bar Comedy. It's good stuff. But I've watched all 7 seasons of Vikings, which was probably one of my favorite shows. It's a great show. Love how it compares and contrasts Christians of the time with the Vikings, who were considered pagans and heathens, and their varying spirituality.
Wow.
It's really fascinating, actually, to watch. Yeah. And there's been some recent Viking discoveries.
Okay.
to show that Vikings were the first Europeans to ever land in North America. Sorry, Columbus. And watched that. Jack Ryan with John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like that.
That was good.
But I'm waiting for
I know, we
season
need
3.
more seasons, right?
Yeah.
I just finished The Boys, which is like if superheroes were treated like celebrities and then had the freedom to do whatever they wanted and kind of became villainous in their own way. That was a pretty interesting show. And actually, I just picked up a book. I found it in my car. I didn't even know where it came from. I think it came from Dilla. I think it came from Aaron. And it's AJ Swoboda's book, After Doubt. Yeah, so AJ Swoboda is a professor at Bushnell and at Fuller, which I didn't know that he taught at Fuller, but he does.
Nice.
And he's written a bunch of books. And so this book, After Doubt, is about how do you faithfully follow Jesus through your doubts.
Yeah.
And through a time in the world when a lot of it's like really popular and even kind of trendy these days to like totally just deconstruct and demolish your faith and run away from all the, foundational and traditional things that you used to believe in. Well, how do you stay faithful to Jesus when you're trying to sort through all of that stuff? So it's good stuff so far.
Good. So I do so much reading for sermon prep and stuff that if I'm reading for fun, it only happens when I'm like going on vacation. Otherwise, I don't want to read anything anymore. But if I'm picking up something for fun, my fallback is a John Grisham. Just something like that I always seem to enjoy. Interesting enough, though, my sister was just here and she wanted me to read a book, and I thought, well, then I want you to read a book. And so we're going to do a book swap. And so she's got a book on meditation that she wants me to read, and I'm going to ask her to read a book that about, 15 years ago, I told the church it was required reading if you were going to be a member at Northwood. Can you believe I would say that? But it's Philip Yancey's book, What's So Amazing About Grace. And so we're going to do a book swap. So I'm going to read some things. And she said, you'll just have to use your filter, your faith filter as you read it. On meditation. And so that's something that I'm looking forward to, actually. And then we'll talk about what we're learning from what we're reading. So that to me is an exciting thing.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
And then in our house, though, the girls love either home improvement shows or cooking shows. I can only handle a little bit of that. I usually head to the other room to find some sports. But there is a funny show. If you've never seen this show, I don't even know where it's on. Maybe Netflix? I don't know. It's called Nailed It. It's a baking show. Okay. And they show you what it should look like, and they get amateur bakers.
Yes.
And then they have a certain amount of time, and they try to make and it is so funny because this looks so good and what they made. I'm like, I think I could do that. Yeah. I think mine would look just like that. I do kind of like that. So Nailed It is a fun one. Just if you like baking and you like to see people having fun and not being very good at something. So, yeah.
That's funny. I think that's a national pastime.
Yeah, that's right. So I can relate to it. Okay. Hey, guys, thanks today for
that was
stepping
fun.
in.
That was a
and
good time.
We'll get Aaron involved in another one. And want to say to our church, we love you. Thanks for being a part of our family. Thank you for the many, many ways you've been such an example to us on what generosity looks like and how to live it out. And we're looking forward to spending the holidays this year with each of you. Thanks.